our expansion and our outreach has grown tremendously in the last 1 year. We're very excited that more and more people are working with HundrED and supporting HundrED, but also working with kids in education and making it much more unique and creative so that all kids can flourish. So again, if you want to talk to any of the innovators, any of the summit attendees who are here in this room, we will have some time right after the launch, so please make sure you grab them, and if you want me to come and introduce you to them, grab me first, then I'll do it. All right, so we'll start with the second round. Again, 3 minutes, clap at 0, make them feel like they're loved, because they truly are, but we do have to keep time. Okay, everyone ready? Yes? Yes, louder? Cool, that's better. Yes, come on, guys. All right, next up is, again, from Finland, Pekka. You might know him. He's quite famous in the local scenes, but Pekka from Personalized Learning Path in Finland.
Thank you.
Come.
So, hello everyone. I'm Pekka. I'm a teacher. I live here in Helsinki. And whenever I am planning or designing my teaching, I try to keep two things in my mind, or combine two facts. First is about learning. We can learn only in a certain area that is in the high end of our current skills. I think all of you have heard about Vygotsky's zone of proximal development. It means that we can learn in a certain area. I mean, we cannot learn the things that is really low below of our skills. It's something that we already know. That's our, we possess the knowledge already. And we cannot learn the things that is so high above of our current skills that we don't even know how to begin. And the second fact is, for example, in Finland, among 15-year-old students, so among 9th graders, the knowledge gap, the skill gap between the best and the weakest students is 7 school years. And I don't mean about the best and the weakest, but the 5% of the best, 5% of the weakest, the gap is 7 school years. And the PISA study is saying that in Finland the gap is the smallest in the world. So best of luck to your rest. But if I go into the classroom and I want to make the learning possible for every and each of the kid, I need to divide my teaching in the 7 different states, in 7 different school years. Actually, last year there was a study in Finland in math after the 12th grade. After secondary studies, 4% of our students in math are on the level of a 2nd grader in Finland, 4%. 18% after the 12th grade, after learning math 12 years, their knowledge level is somewhere below the 5th graders. So what I want to do is I want to make the learning possible. I'm not concentrating on teaching, but how to make the learning possible. What to do so that I don't prevent my students to learn. For example, the best tool for teachers for preventing the students to learn is to plan the next lesson. So we need to do something, and that's why we need to have some tools. That's why personalized learning paths. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next speaker is all the way from Singapore, Ellen Hating. She's representing Initiative for Peace. So welcome, Ellen.
Moi, my name's Ellen. I'm here representing my amazing students from United World College of Southeast Asia who founded and continue to run Initiative for Peace. Our motto at Initiative for Peace is youth, connecting youth to build sustainable and positive peace. What IFP looks like is a peace education curriculum where for the first half of the program, our students are trained in leadership development skills, in facilitation skills, and in peace and conflict studies. In the second half of the course, our students focus in on a post-conflict situation in the world, and they design and get ready to implement a peace education conference. Our students then give up the first week of their summer break, and they travel to that post-conflict zone, and they run and orchestrate a peace conference for youth from both sides of that conflict. So, in the past, we've run conferences in places like Cambodia, Kashmir on the India-Pakistan border, in a refugee camp on the Thai-Burmese border, in Russia, in Timor-Leste, in Singapore, in Sri Lanka, and other places too. So what I thought I'd do now, with my remaining minute or so, is rather than go on and on about how amazing peace education is I might ask you to engage in a peace-building activity with me. So what I'd like you to do is imagine the person sitting next to you is from the other side of a really deep-seated conflict. So maybe you're Hindu and they're Muslim, or you're Timorese and they're Indonesian, or you're from Helsinki and they're from Espoo. And what I'd like you to do is now, if you could stand up. I know, audience participation in Finland, she's crazy. Whew. Bear with me. I'd like you now to take your right hand and place it on your nose, and your left hand and place it on your right ear. It's even more difficult because you're opposite me. Now turn and face that person from the opposite side of a deep-seated conflict and look into their eyes. And very quickly, as fast as you can, you're going to swap your hands back and forward. So your right hand from your nose goes to your left ear and your left hand to your nose. 10 times, back and forward, go. Quickly, as fast as you can. Keep going. It's hard, I know. All right, thank you very much. When you run out of steam, take a seat. Thank you. So what we find when we engage in these peace-building activities, and that when we're looking into each other's eyes and we're reminded, that all of us are really equally bad at these silly tasks that people are asking us to do, it's a great reminder of our shared humanity and all the things we have in common, and it becomes really difficult to see that person as the enemy. So kiitos, enjoy the conference.
I like that kind of engagement, so that was cool. Thanks, Ellen. All right, so the next speaker is Tyler from US. He represents Graduate Ames Database, so welcome, Tyler.
Thank you. Thank you, good afternoon. I'd like to play what if with you for just a minute. What if there was a small city who decided to get together all the families from that city and have a conversation about what they wanted to be true about the 17 and 18-year-olds in that city? And basically, what is the profile of the graduate that they want their schools to produce? And let's imagine that after going through that process, in addition to knowing math and language and science and history, they also said, this small city, that they wanted their 17 and 18-year-olds to understand empathy and self-awareness and critical consciousness. How do you think the school leaders and the teachers would respond to this? You might imagine on the one hand that they would be excited because these are good things for children. You also might imagine that they would be a little nervous or a little scared because, number one, they realize that their students don't have a whole lot of time at school to practice these really important learner outcomes. Number two, their teachers, as excellent as they are, might not feel confident or prepared or trained to create a classroom that's designed to cultivate those innovative learner outcomes. And thirdly, if they took an honest look at their school model, they might realize that their school is actually set up to deliver on the promise of traditionally academic outcomes, but not these more innovative learner outcomes. So what do you do? In short, that's why we at Transcend created the Graduate Ames database, which is a free open source resource to anyone. And it's a collection of summaries of innovative learning outcomes that allow teachers, school leaders, and school designers to apply cutting-edge research to help them design innovative learning environments. At our organization, HundrED, we're a national nonprofit based in the United States. Our mission is to accelerate innovation in the core design of school, and we do that by partnering with forward-thinking local communities across the United States to design and spread innovative learning models. And what we're finding over and over in all of our partners' work is that increasingly they are wanting to design learning environments that cultivate not just traditional academic outcomes, but also social emotional factors like grit and perseverance, also global competencies like social justice and intercultural competence, as well as transferable skills like creativity and collaboration. And we are finding that they are using the Graduate Aims database to tweak and improve the designs of their learning environments because they recognize that their learning environments are designed to cultivate a less holistic and more narrow set of outcomes, when in truth they want to design a much more broad, holistic set of learner outcomes for their students. So each graduate database outcome focuses on one outcome, and it defines it, it shows the learning and development path, it gives design implications for a classroom and for a school, and it also gives key equity considerations. You can download this for free on our website at transcendeducation.org. We hope that you do, we hope that you use it, and we hope and we welcome your feedback to make it as useful as possible. Thank you.
All right, 2 more to go. Actually 4 more, but 2 more for 3-minute pitches. There's just so much expertise in this room. It's overwhelming. But next up is Joanna Rhodes from Challenge 59, all the way from UK. So please give a round of applause for Joanna.
Thank you. 10 years ago, McDonald's promised to serve you in 59 seconds. At the time, I was dance artist in residence in one of the most deprived wards in the UK. I worked with police, drug action teams and public health, where every Friday night, 250 young people would descend on a field to get drunk, some of them as young as 7. I saw firsthand how issue-based dance could affect behavioural change. From the girl who played truant due to issues reference her body image, after the project she had 100% attendance, and she even stayed behind after school to teach dance. To the child who was relocated due to the bereavement of both parents, who positively oozed confidence and formed strong immediate social bonds. And finally to the boy excluded from school with a scar on his head. I later found out his dad had got a machete to him. He managed to secure a further term's worth of funding to keep dance within his school. I wondered what I could do in 59 seconds to empower young people in matters of their own well-being. Unfortunately, 10 years on, child health inequalities are worsening. There's rising mental health issues, a physical inactivity epidemic, and the way we interact with each other is changing. Public Health England now state that for the first time ever, we will outlive our younger generation. Challenge 59 is a collaborative schools project that puts young people at its heart. We use dance as a vehicle for embodied learning about health, and we amplify the youth voice by co-producing their 59-second health films about local issues. Films are being screened nationally and internationally, but perhaps more importantly, children have developed the agency to share amongst families and with communities. One boy speaks of Marmite representing sticky tar that nicotine leaves behind in people's bodies and lungs. On the 59th second of his film, he wanted to close his mouth to show he'd stopped breathing. His dad stopped smoking after seeing the film premiere. Recently, I was asked to speak about the UN rights of the child in London, and I just would like to share 4 of those with you to remind us of them. Every child has the right to play, relax, and have access to artistic and cultural activities. They have a right to an education about health and well-being, and an education that fosters their individual talents and personalities. And they have a right to have a voice and for it to be heard. In an academic evaluation of Challenge 59, 94% of children said they felt more confident, overcoming apprehensions, feeling calmer, more successful, more resilient, enjoyed trying new things, and really wanted to keep dance within their school. We want to foster local and global citizens who can think, feel, relate to one another, be themselves, affect change, and live happy, healthy lives, with the skills to harness and the behaviours to deal with what is ahead. What could we do in 59 seconds?
All right, that was powerful. Next up, all the way from Pakistan, Fakira Najib from Broad Class.
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I'm thankful to HundrED team and for you for showing your presence here and commitment for educating children in the world. Power 99 Foundation has internationally awarded program for basic education, Broad Class Listen to Learn. It's interactive radio instruction for teaching literacy, numeracy, and English as a second language. The core element in the program is complemented by face-to-face teachers training, material development, and community support. And evaluation mechanism is also put into place to administer students' learning performances as a result of the intervention. The program has benefited more than 100,000 children in government, non-government, religious, and community schools. Other than that, the program has access to more than 1 million people who are listening to the radio broadcast daily. The program has helped to stabilize fragile community by providing consistent, reliable, and attractive services, ensuring community participation, and teaching knowledge and skill that help both children and youth to come out of the poverty and conflict. The program has greatly broadened access to unbiased global information, not only in local language but also in English, thus heavily influencing the perception of the West and impacting openness towards economic growth and values such as universal human rights among the communities who would otherwise not be easy to reach. Pakistan has second most out-of-school children in the world. 2.5 million children, 5 to 15 years, are out of school and 51% are girls. Pakistan, being one of the most populous countries in Asia, is highly impacting regional and global security. We believe to meet SDG's target, there is need to replicate Broad Class Listen to Learn program not only in Pakistan but also in the region because it very easily to replicate and most cost-effective education intervention. Wide range of radio airwaves are available in Pakistan, and it is still the largest source of communication in most part of the country, and it's very cost efficient and friendly to bridge with mobile phones and other social media platforms. According to third-party report which is done by DFID, per child, per annum cost is less than $10, which is equal to your one-time meal or a movie ticket. So we believe if we be given a support, we can create a ripple effect by ensuring that children have access to quality education that is rooted in gender equality. Thank you so much.
All right. Did everyone count how many speakers were there? 10. I'm done. I will leave now. But again, just wanted to say thank you to all the speakers for sharing your expertise with this audience. And I know there are a lot of more people in here who have a lot to say. So let's keep the conversation going. These were just 10 out of the 100. So 129 collection is now officially on our website. So you can check out the whole collection. If you notice, we freely give out the contact persons, email addresses, and the website information. So you can easily just get in touch with any and every innovator that's on the collection.